Hey everybody, it is your well woman, Lashana Moore. Thank you for joining me. However you found this channel and however you stumbled or directly came to this particular episode, thank you for doing so. I want to share something on my heart. It's been sitting in my spirit, and today I just felt that constant nudge from God to confirmed to me that it was time to share this with you. First of all, I hope you're well. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to this channel. This is Lashana Moore TV, and my podcast is titled Living Well with Lashana. My brand, my life's work, is all about womanhood, wellness, lifestyle, and under lifestyle includes my holistic homes, wellness real estate, fitness, nutrition, and faith. And so, however you found this channel, and for whatever reason you have connected in any of those areas, I'd like to say thank you. This episode is going to be a conversation with you that is designed to encourage you. This is a timely, inspirational message and word of encouragement for many of you. At the time of this recording, it is 2025. It's actually January, so it's the first of the year. And I know many of you are busy figuring things out, executing plans, navigating the current season that you're in. And all of us, especially at the beginning of the new year, are in hopes for a good year, a new year. As a matter of fact, my full name, Lashana, is Hebraic. Now, I didn't know this, and my daddy named me, but he didn't know it either, y'all. I didn't recognize it, or I didn't learn about it until years ago. I was singing, doing praise and worship at this Christian Hebrew church. And when the rabbi heard my name, he said, Lashana Tovach. And so I had an opportunity to learn some Hebrew while I was there. And so he broke the name down in the meaning. And the meaning of my name is inscribed for a new year, a good year. So during Rosh Hashanah, if you pay attention to the Jewish calendar, you'll see that in our Gregorian calendar, that's usually around September, where they are taking time to reflect and to prepare for their Jewish New Year. And so since we are in this Gregorian calendar, January, where we are preparing our new year to be refreshing, to be hopeful, to be abundant, to be better than, this message is going to pierce and inspire. I want to speak to those of you who have either been in a season where you found yourself waiting, where you have found yourself unsure about the next step, whether you have been careful and cautious, and maybe that the undertone of that is fear. You've been fearful to do something, to move on something, and you've been getting that nudge. I get a lot of nudges. If you listen to me talk or you gather with me for events or teachings, you hear me say the word nudge a lot when it comes to how God, namely the Holy Spirit of God, will begin moving me to do something, to be obedient to something. So you may be feeling a nudge. Maybe you're getting dreams. Maybe you're getting this feeling in the pit of your stomach. Maybe someone has come to confirm an idea. You've got something sitting in you and you've been in a season of waiting. You've been in a season where you're unsure, or you've been in a season of fear. And the roads don't seem to be coming together to give you the green light to move forward. And so you find yourself kind of just going in a circle of when, how, where, and what. Meanwhile, you're observing, you're looking at things and people and organizations and movements and initiatives around you. And it's frustrating. It begins to frustrate you. You start to feel this overwhelming sense of frustration and stagnation and confusion. And you're just kind of on this hamster wheel, going round and round every day, trying to figure it out, wondering whether you should start, wondering whether or not you should start something over again, wondering how you're going to be able to finance what it is you're doing. And some of you are even in a season where you are unemployed or you're not making the income that you desire and you're not making the income that you need. And I think all of us at some point have felt the tension of not having all that we need. Even when we're doing really good, there is still more that needs to be acquired for our lives, for our responsibility, for our daily obligations, for our homes, for our families, for whatever it is that your life requires and demands of you. And I'm not necessarily talking about the wants of life, just the everyday things that are needed as we're saving, we're trying to build, we're trying to overcome poverty. Some of you, we're trying to overcome just making enough. You're trying to exceed a certain income. You want to really expand your financial portfolio, your financial wellness and mobility to move about your life. All of us. Finances are an area that determines all of our mobility, our freedom, and our options. And so, as you're listening to this, I want you to start thinking about those things, that area, that confusion in your life that has caused you to be in a state of constant frustration, tiredness, fatigue, wanting to give up. And that range of wanting to give up spans very broad. Some of you have been just flat out frustrated with life, and it brings a lot of tension and friction in relationships, in your ability to communicate. It has brought on anxiety or an episode of depression, and you're locked in it and you can't figure out how to move out of it. Some of you are going through major life transitions. You've not been this way before. And you're wondering, okay, how am I going to pivot? How am I going to navigate my way in this season with life being different, life feeling different, culture, society, jobs, people, responsibilities, requiring so much, needing so much, things that are not being provided maybe as they once were. Maybe you're finding yourself in a period of life where at the age that you are, you're frustrated with where you are, or you're having to pivot in a time in life where it's not favorable for your age. I want to encourage each of you in every scenario that I have mentioned and in those scenarios that I have not mentioned, but you can attest and connect to the frustration, the fatigue, the weariness that I'm speaking of. What I know to be true and what I have felt even in my own spirit in time of quietness, frustration, prayer, fasting, asking when, wondering why, coming to terms with prayers that were not answered the way that I wanted them to be answered, I am seeing a clearer vision of where many of us are headed. And so this message is for many of you. I want you to be clear in understanding that there are some ideas and some inventions and some organizations, some business plans that many of you have been kind of holding out on for the reasons that I've already mentioned. Fear, frustration, it didn't work the first time. You don't have the money and the finances. Everybody is not a big everyone's not big on falling off the cliff and finding their wings on the way down. Some of us like a little bit more security. Some of us wait on a lot more confirmation in prayer, in faith, in stillness, in meditation. And so everyone's not just quick to move on something just because the passion and the fire is in you to do it. But there is something unique about this year for many of you, for many of us who have been in this cycle or on this hamster wheel or on this rotation of constant frustration, letdown, and failures. I want you to know that this is the season for you to pick up the plan that you've been kind of playing around with, that you've been revising over and over, that you've been, maybe kind of sharing it very leisurely to others in hopes of getting a response that will be a validation for you to actually go and move on it. You're not satisfied with your life. You're not pleased with where things are. Now, this is not a message to move away from a job, or that's not what this message is about, or to move away from the thing that you're doing. This is about something that is incubating in you, and you are wondering if you should move on it. You're vacillating about moving on it, but you can't get away from it. You're dreaming about it. You're waking up. You're thinking about it. It's on you even while you're fulfilling other obligations and doing other things. It will not leave you alone. This is the year, and this is the time, and this is the season of your life. When I say time and season, this is not about calendar. This is just about the cycle of life that you're in. We all have a spiritual cycle in life where God moves in a way. He moves with a certain momentum. He moves in a certain tone. He speaks in a certain way, and or he leads and navigates in a certain way. And it can be very frustrating and perplexing, especially when he's not moving, leading, guiding, and navigating the way that you are used to him doing it. We want clear, concise words. We want yes and no, black and white, right, left, up, down, hot, cold. And sometimes you've not received that definite. Well, God is a God that is expansive. He is holy. He is all knowing. He is all present. He is full of wisdom. He has insight and foresight. He has divine knowledge and wisdom. He has timing as his own in his hands to control in his own way, in his own unique system that is very that is far above what we are able to comprehend. We are humans. We are finite. We are limited. As intelligent and as knowledgeable as we are, as much genius as we have been gifted to have, we are still restricted and limited. And so we get caught up in our ego. We get caught up in our knowledge. We get caught up in our academics, in our in the fortitude that we have of knowing things. We get caught up in being insulted that we don't know everything about the season, the time, the cycle that we're in. And because God is all of those things that I just shared, and he's moving in a way that is different, and he's not speaking as concise as he once did, it is for a reason. It is because he is grooming and sewing and mending and fixing and preparing a way. There's a lot of construction. There's a lot of blurred lines. There's a lot of uncertainty in your life. But he is the contractor of the season and the cycle. And he is moving and he is navigating things. And whereas in one season he may have been speaking verbally because you really did need that umbilical cord. You needed that level of security. Now he's doing the move. He's doing the nudge. He's giving the push. He's giving you the dreams. He's giving this constant feeling on the inside of, yes, do it. It is time. I've got you. I'm with you. And we wrestle against all of the requirements of life, all of the things in life, all of the no's that you've heard, all the times that you launched and you crashed. We're looking at those things. Our experiences start to build our ideology on how things will work. And we have an anticipation of failing to launch. I wrote a book, Failure to Launch, as it relates to relationships. But I want to confirm to you that this is the time in the season, and especially for those of you who are waiting on employment, especially for those of you who are waiting on a job, you're not getting the callbacks. You're willing to accept anything at this point, and you're still not able to get the job. You're going on the interviews. They're telling you that you're overqualified, and you're still willing to do, I'm going to put my glasses on. You're still willing to do what is required because you have a need that needs to be met. And faith pushes us in unknown territories with this crazy confidence. Why? Meanwhile, at the ranch, life is requiring a whole trough of things, a whole trough of our obligation and our energy. I want to tell you that this is the time to go ahead and start moving on the plans while you are still waiting. Move on the dream, on the desire, on the thing that you are feeling while you are still waiting, while you are still desiring for something to be brought, an opportunity to be brought to you, a contract to be brought to you, a job to be offered to you, an offer letter to come to you, while you're waiting on income to get better. This is the time to begin to dream again, breathe again, pick up the plan, revise the plan, or shift. Some of you are shifting in a new area, and it's requiring a new skill. It's requiring a new patience. It's requiring new territory. It is requiring a new network. It's requiring for some of you a new audience. Maybe you are in business and you've had a network of people, or you've had a certain audience that has always supported your work. And you're finding now that the season of life, the cycle of life, the time of life is shifting. It's different. You're not getting the same kind of support from that audience and that network that you once did. The prayer now becomes, God, lead me to those areas, to those regions, to those communities, to those people, to those philanthropists, to those investors, to those humanitarians that will see the work that I am doing, that will understand the vision that you have given me. Put my work, my name, my brand into the heart and the spirit of people who need to find me. Help my heart to be turned toward the direction and the will and the assignment that you have set forth for my life. Help me to find grace in this time, to synchronize the rhythm of the day with what I need to do and what I am feeling you leading me to do, so that they can run together while I am fulfilling the daily obligations of life, working a job, hunting for a job, or whatever it is that you're doing to maintain daily obligations. And while I am making the plans and moving in faith, in crazy faith, in divine discomfort of the things that will not die and will not let me set them down. There are audiences that need you. There are people that need you. There are financiers that need you. There are regions that need you. There are corporations that need you. There are neighborhoods and communities that need you. There's a sector, a demographic of people that need you, and it will begin to happen and to flourish and to build flesh on its bones by you working it in discomfort. It will begin to take form and take shape while you are moving in frustration, while you are saying yes, while waiting, while you are putting all of your time, your energy, and your effort in obedience, while you're waiting for the funds, while you're waiting on the ROI, the return on your investment. This is the time to do it. This is the time to be in alignment with what doesn't seem logical. Let this encourage you. Let this be the green light, not from me, but from God our Father, the Father of lights, the Father who provides and who knows all things, who may not answer it the way you want it to be answered, the way that you want it to be answered, and in the timing that you want it to be answered. But because he is God, creator God, and he is the Father and the director of all things, he knows all things. Because he is the God that sees you, and he is the Christ, he will ensure that everything that he has placed in you to execute will land. It will land. It will land. It will work. Keep moving. Keep moving. This has been your well woman. Listen, I've been there. I am in a season now myself. And so I'm sharing this not in the after effect, the result. I'm sharing it with you while I too am in the middle and in the process of being obedient and doing the work. All right. Feel free to browse my channel. Please connect. Subscribe, as a matter of fact. I encourage you to subscribe to LaShanna Moore TV and to go to my website, LaShannaMoore.com, to find a lot of valuable information that you can utilize for your well-being and for your lifestyle. And then if you'd like to support the work that I'm doing, I welcome the support. There's an opportunity to donate. There's an opportunity to subscribe and become a member of a lot of events and forums and resources that are available. And then there's an opportunity also to support by buying me a coffee. And you'll see these things in the show notes. But go in encouragement and in inspiration. All right? Until the next video, live, age, and be well and whole. Bye-bye.